America, what's going on? President Trump really captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro? The capture of one president by another sounds like a clip from a movie scene. How is this possible? Is it even legal?
There are a number of important international legal concepts which the United States might have broken.
Let's talk about the facts and gray area of it all. Here are the potential pros and cons. If you look at the footage coming out of Caracas right now, the capital of Venezuela, people are dancing on cars. Tears are streaming down the faces of grandmothers who haven't seen their children in years because of the diaspora. To the Venezuelan people, this isn't a geopolitical event. It's a literal jailbreak. But then you flip the channel. You look at the pundits in DC, the analysts in London, and the frantic noise coming out of the UN. There is a sense of panic.
And now Democrats are railing against the president's action.
So today we're asking the hard question. If the people on the ground are cheering, why is the rest of the world terrified? Is the American panic legit? Or are we just afraid of a world where the old rules don't apply anymore? First, let's look at the pro side of this chaos. The cheering is real because the oppression was real. For years, the international community tried maximum pressure.
President's action, calling it illegal and pushing for a vote this week to stop further strikes.
We tried sanctions that hurt the poor more than the palace. We tried diplomacy that Maduro used to buy time. Literally, Venezuela is in an economic crisis which has led to more than 7 million people leaving the country due to President Nicolas Maduro's refusal to leave office and keeping the country in an alleged stronghold.
Now, Mr. Maduro has long rejected the allegations and has accused President Trump of illegal warmongering.
Trump's move was a total rejection of that slow walk strategy.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transitions.
The argument for this being a win is that it's the ultimate surgical strike. No 10-year war, no boots on the ground occupation, just a decisive removal of a single point of failure. If the goal of foreign policy is to alleviate human suffering, how can you argue with the images of joy in the streets? Let's get into the cons. Here's why the so-called smartest people in the room are losing their minds. And no, it's not just because they hate the president's style. The panic is about the second move. In chess, the amateur celebrates the capture. The grandmaster worries about the counterattack.
Well, this is the most consequential action so far of Donald Trump's second term in office. But what could the wider implications be?
Is this a violation of international law? Well, capturing a sitting head of state is often viewed as a violation of national sovereignty. Such an act could be condemned by the UN and the OAS, setting a precedent that other nations might use to justify similar actions. Important to know, there's the Russia-China factor. Venezuela owes billions to Moscow and Beijing. They didn't just lose an ally, they lost a massive investment. If they feel they can't protect their interests through diplomacy because the US will just snatch their partners, do they start playing by the same rules? Are we ready for a world where American diplomats are arrested in retaliation?
To Donald Trump tweeting that he has launched large-scale attacks in Venezuela and that he has captured the president and his wife.
Second, there's the internal vacuum. The people are cheering today, but tomorrow they'll be hungry. If the U.S. doesn't have a 20-year plan to rebuild the Venezuelan power grid, the oil refineries, and the judicial system, that liberation feeling will turn into occupation resentment faster than you can imagine. Also, the concern of the martyr effect, forcing Maduro out of power via capture, rather than internal political processes, could turn him into a martyr for the Latin American left, fueling anti-American sentiment across the continent for generations. So, should we be afraid? Was this not about liberation, but only President Trump seeking oil money? Hasn't money always been priority from all the governments over lives in the first place? If you believe that the liberal world order, the set of rules we've used since 1945, is the only thing keeping us from World War III, then yes, you should be terrified because that order just died. But if you believe those rules were just a polite mask for a system that allowed dictators to starve their people while we gave speeches at the UN, then maybe this isn't a moment for fear. Maybe it's a moment of clarity. The American panic is legit because we've entered the great unknown. We've traded a predictable, slow-motion tragedy for a high-speed, high-stakes gamble. The people in Caracas are cheering because they have nothing left to lose. The people in DC are panicking because they realize, for the first time in a long time, they've lost control of the script. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments the state of mind of those around you. We will follow this closely. Subscribe now for more. Let's discuss more soon.